Have you ever stepped on the scale and felt proud because the number dropped? But what if I told you that number might be lying to you because losing weight is not the same as losing fat? And if you don't understand this difference, you could be slowing your metabolism, aging faster, and even making it harder to ever lose fat again. Let's break this down. You step on the scale, and for a moment, it feels like victory. The number is lower than yesterday, lower than last week. And in that instant, you believe something is working. But what if that number is hiding the truth? What if the very thing you're celebrating is silently working against you? Because weight loss is not what you think it is. That number on the scale does not measure success. It measures everything: your water, your muscle, your organs, your bones, and yes, your fat. But it never tells you what you actually lost. And that is where the danger begins. Imagine losing 5 kilograms in a month. Zing. It sounds impressive. People compliment you, clothes fit differently, but beneath the surface, something far more important may be disappearing: your muscle. And muscle is not just for strength or appearance, it is your metabolic engine. It determines how many calories your body burns every single second of the day, even when you are doing absolutely nothing. Scientific research has shown that during rapid weight loss, especially through crash dieting, up to 30% or more of the weight lost can come from lean muscle mass. That means nearly 1/3 of your success could actually be your body becoming weaker, slower, and less efficient. And here's the part no one tells you. Every time you lose muscle, your metabolism slows down. Your body adapts. It becomes more efficient at surviving on less. It burns fewer calories. It holds on tighter to fat. So even though you are eating less, your body is now working harder to resist further weight loss. This is why so many people hit a plateau. This is why someone can say, "I'm barely eating anything and I'm still not losing weight." It's not because they lack discipline, it's because their body has entered survival mode. Your body is incredibly intelligent. It does not care about your beach goals or your clothing size. It cares about survival. And when you drastically reduce calories without the right strategy, your body interprets it as a threat, a famine. And in response, it begins to conserve energy in every way possible. It reduces your metabolic rate, it breaks down muscle for fuel, it increases hunger hormones, and it decreases the hormones that make you feel full. So now you are tired, hungry, and stuck. And the worst part? You think you need to eat even less. This is the cycle that traps millions of people. Lose weight, lose muscle, slow metabolism, plateau, eat less, lose more muscle, and regain fat even faster. Yes, regain. Because when the diet ends, and it always does, your slower metabolism cannot handle normal eating anymore. Calories that were once harmless now become excess. And the body, still in survival mode, stores them as fat. This is why people don't just regain the weight. They regain more fat than they lost and less muscle than they started with. So their body composition becomes worse over time, even if the scale looks similar. This is the hidden truth behind weight loss. It is not always progress. Sometimes it is damage. But there is another path, a smarter path, a path that focuses not on weight loss, but on fat loss, because fat loss changes everything. When you lose fat while preserving muscle, your metabolism stays strong. Your body becomes more efficient, not less. You burn more calories, not fewer. You feel energized instead of exhausted. And most importantly, the results last. Studies in metabolic health consistently show that individuals who maintain or increase lean muscle mass during fat loss have better insulin sensitivity, better hormone balance, and a significantly lower risk of regaining weight. This is not just about looking better. This is about rebuilding how your body functions at its core. Think about it this way. Two people can weigh the exact same number on the scale, but one can have higher muscle, lower fat, and a fast metabolism. The other can have lower muscle, higher fat, and a slow metabolism. Same weight, completely different health, completely different future. So the question is no longer, how much do you weigh? The real question is, what is your body made of? Because that determines everything from how you age to how you move to how your body handles food, stress, and disease. And here's something even more shocking. After the age of 30, the average person begins to lose muscle naturally every year. It's called sarcopenia. And if you are dieting incorrectly on top of that, you are accelerating the process. You are aging your metabolism faster than time itself. This is why people feel like their body is slowing down as they get older. It's not just age, it's muscle loss. And every time you chase quick weight loss instead of real fat loss, you are feeding that decline. But when you shift your focus, when you protect muscle, when you nourish your body, when you allow it to burn fat instead of sacrificing lean tissue, you reverse that trend. You rebuild strength, you restore metabolism, you create a body that works with you instead of against you. And suddenly everything changes. You are not constantly hungry. You're not constantly tired. You are not stuck in an endless cycle of losing and regaining. You are in control. So the next time you step on the scale, pause for a moment. Don't celebrate too quickly. Don't get discouraged too quickly either, because that number is only a shadow of the truth. Ask yourself a deeper question. What did I actually lose? Because if the answer is muscle, you are moving away from your goal. But if the answer is fat, you are transforming your body at the deepest level. And that transformation, it doesn't just change how you look. It changes how your body lives, breathes, and survives. And once you understand that, you will never chase weight loss the same way again. Every time you eat, something invisible begins to rise inside your body. You don't feel it, you don't see it, but it controls whether you burn fat or store it. That invisible force is insulin, and it may be the single most misunderstood reason why people struggle to lose fat. You've been told your whole life that fat loss is about calories. Eat less, move more. Simple, clean, logical. But if that were true, millions of people wouldn't be stuck, frustrated, doing everything right, and still not losing fat. Because the truth is far more powerful and far more unsettling. Your body is not a calculator. It's a hormonal system, and insulin is one of its master switches. Every time you eat carbohydrates, bread, rice, sugar, even healthy grains, your blood sugar rises. In response, your pancreas releases insulin. Its job is simple. Take that sugar out of your blood and store it. But here's what most people never realize. When insulin is elevated, your body is in storage mode, not fat burning mode, storage mode. Scientific studies in metabolic physiology have consistently shown that high insulin levels actively block lipolysis, the process where your body breaks down fat for energy. In simple terms, when insulin is high, fat burning is turned off, completely off. It doesn't matter if you are eating fewer calories. It doesn't matter if you exercise that morning. If insulin remains elevated throughout the day, your body cannot access its fat stores effectively. Now think about the modern lifestyle. Breakfast at 8, snack at 11, lunch at 2, snack at 5, dinner at 8, dessert at 10. From the moment you wake up to the moment you sleep, insulin is being triggered again and again and again. Your body never gets a break. And if your body never gets a break, it never gets a chance to burn fat. This is the silent trap. You're not overeating in massive amounts. You're just eating too often. And every bite, even small ones, keeps insulin elevated just enough to keep fat locked away. Like money in a bank account, you're not allowed to withdraw from. So you feel tired, you feel hungry, you crave more food because your body is surrounded by stored energy, but cannot use it. This is why someone can have excess body fat and still feel low energy. It's not a lack of fuel, it's a lack of access. And over time, something even more dangerous begins to happen. Your cells stop responding to insulin properly. It's called insulin resistance. At first, your body compensates by producing more insulin, higher levels, more frequently. But this creates a vicious cycle. More insulin leads to more fat storage leads to more insulin resistance, and slowly, quietly, the system breaks down. Research shows that insulin resistance is at the root of many chronic diseases: type 2 diabetes, obesity, heart disease, even cognitive decline. But long before disease appears, fat loss becomes nearly impossible because now insulin isn't just rising after meals, it's elevated almost all the time. And when insulin is always high, fat burning is always off. This is why traditional dieting fails so many people. They cut calories, but continue eating in a way that keeps insulin elevated. They switch to low-fat products, often packed with hidden sugars. They snack on healthy foods, thinking they're helping, but metabolically, nothing changes. Insulin stays high, fat stays locked, frustration grows. Now here's where everything shifts, because once you understand insulin, you gain control. Fat loss is no longer a mystery. It becomes a strategy. The goal is not just to eat less. The goal is to create periods where insulin is low enough for your body to access stored fat. That's when the magic happens. That's when your body transitions from storing energy to using it, from depending on constant food to tapping into its own reserves. One of the most powerful ways to do this is by changing how often you eat. When you stop constant snacking, insulin has time to fall. When insulin falls, your body gets the signal it's been waiting for: burn fat. This is why structured meal timing, like intermittent fasting, has gained so much attention in scientific research. Not because it's a trend, but because it directly impacts insulin levels. Fewer eating windows, lower insulin exposure, greater access to fat stores, and the results can be profound. But it's not just about when you eat, it's also about what you eat. Highly processed carbohydrates cause rapid spikes in blood sugar, followed by strong insulin responses. Whole foods, balanced with protein and healthy fats, create a much gentler response. Less spike, less insulin, more opportunity for fat burning. Protein in particular plays a critical role. It helps preserve muscle, supports metabolism, and keeps you full longer, reducing the urge to snack constantly. Healthy fats provide stable energy without triggering large insulin spikes. Together, they create an environment where your body can finally shift out of storage mode and into fat-burning mode. But perhaps the most important shift is mental. You stop blaming yourself. You stop thinking, I have no willpower, because this was never about willpower. It was about biology. Hormones drive behavior far more than discipline ever will. When insulin is high, hunger increases. Cravings intensify. Energy crashes, and your body pushes you to eat again. But when insulin is stable, everything changes. Hunger becomes manageable, energy becomes steady, cravings begin to fade, and for the first time, fat loss feels natural, not forced, not exhausting, not temporary, sustainable. So the next time you think about fat loss, don't just ask how many calories are on your plate. Ask a deeper question. What is this doing to my insulin? Because that answer determines everything. It determines whether your body stores fat or burns it, whether you feel trapped or in control, whether your efforts lead to frustration or transformation. And once you understand that, you don't just change your diet, you change your entire metabolism. And that is where real, lasting fat loss begins. There is a silent mistake happening in millions of bodies right now, and most people have no idea it's happening to them. They believe they are doing everything right, eating less, skipping meals, pushing through hunger, watching the scale drop. But beneath that progress, something dangerous is unfolding. Their metabolism is slowing down, not a little, significantly. And the worst part is, it doesn't feel like failure at first. It feels like success because the number on the scale is going down. But your metabolism, your body's engine, is quietly being turned down to survive. This is the truth most diets never tell you. When you drastically cut calories, your body does not celebrate. It adapts. It protects you. It assumes you are entering a period of starvation. And it responds with one mission: conserve energy at all costs. Scientific studies on metabolic adaptation have shown that when calorie intake drops sharply, the body can reduce its energy expenditure by hundreds of calories per day. That means your body begins burning less, even if you are eating less. Think about that for a moment. You eat less, but your body also burns less. Your body. And eventually, those two numbers meet. That's the plateau, the moment where nothing works anymore. You push harder, you eat even less, you exercise more, but the body doesn't respond the way it used to because now it's defending itself. And here's where it gets even more shocking. Your body doesn't just reduce calorie burn, it starts choosing what to sacrifice. And often, it chooses muscle, lean tissue, the very thing that keeps your metabolism alive. Muscle is expensive for your body to maintain. It requires energy. So when energy becomes scarce, your body begins breaking it down to survive. And every gram of muscle lost is a permanent hit to your metabolic rate. Studies have shown that individuals who lose significant muscle during dieting experience a long-term reduction in resting metabolic rate. Even after the diet ends, their body continues to burn fewer calories than before. This is why people regain weight so quickly. Not because they lack discipline, but because their metabolism has been damaged. They return to normal eating, but their body is no longer normal. It's slower, more efficient, more protective, and more likely to store fat. This is the metabolic trap, and once you fall into it, each new attempt at weight loss becomes harder than the last. More restriction, less result, more frustration, until eventually you feel stuck in your own body. But here's the truth that changes everything. Your metabolism is not fixed. It is adaptable, and if it can slow down, it can also be rebuilt, but not through restriction, through strategy, through nourishment, through understanding how your body truly works, because building metabolism is not about eating less. It's about sending the right signals, and the most powerful signal you can send to your body is this: you are safe. When your body feels safe, it stops conserving. It stops holding on. It begins to function normally again. And one of the strongest ways to create that signal is through protein. Protein is not just food, it is information. It tells your body to preserve muscle, to repair tissue, to stay strong. Unlike crash diets that strip your body down, adequate protein intake protects the very thing that keeps your metabolism alive. Research consistently shows that higher protein diets help maintain lean mass during fat loss, while also increasing thermogenesis, the number of calories your body burns during digestion. In simple terms, protein helps you burn more while losing fat, but protein alone is not enough. Your body also needs a reason to keep muscle, and that reason is resistance, strength training. When you challenge your muscles, you send a powerful message. These tissues are needed. Do not break them down. Even minimal resistance training, just a few sessions per week, can dramatically reduce muscle loss during fat loss and even help build new muscle in certain cases. And more muscle means more metabolic power, more calories burned at rest, more flexibility in how you eat, more control over your body. But there's another piece most people overlook: recovery, sleep, stress. Because your metabolism is not just physical, it is hormonal. When you are sleep deprived, your hunger hormones become dysregulated. Ghrelin rises, leptin falls, cravings increase, fat loss slows. When stress is chronic, cortisol levels remain elevated, and high cortisol has been linked to increased fat storage, especially around the abdomen. So even if your diet is perfect, your metabolism can still struggle if your recovery is broken. This is why true transformation is not about doing more. It's about doing what works and removing what doesn't. It's about aligning with your biology instead of fighting against it. And when you do, something remarkable happens. Your energy returns, your hunger stabilizes, your strength increases. And fat loss begins to feel different, not forced, not desperate, but steady, predictable, sustainable. You are no longer chasing a smaller number on the scale. You are building a stronger, more efficient body, a body that burns energy instead of conserving it, a body that supports you instead of resisting you, and perhaps the most powerful shift of all, you stop fearing food because you understand that food is not the enemy. Misuse is under-eating, over-restricting, ignoring your body's signals. These are the real threats to your metabolism. But when you fuel your body correctly, when you train it, when you respect its need for recovery, you don't just lose fat, you transform your entire system. So the next time you feel tempted to eat less, to push harder, to starve your way to results, pause and ask yourself one question. Am I building my metabolism or destroying it? Because the path you choose will determine not just how you look, but how your body functions for the rest of your life. And once you understand that, you stop chasing short-term results and start building something far more powerful, a metabolism that works for you every single day.